So
We
going
never
back to
saw
that show that we played with you guys with the Iron Sun.
Yeah.
The Iron Sun was like the Iron Sun was
That was like your Dave Grohl moment, wasn't it?
it was like angry. I was angry
It was
and
intense.
like I had like a bone to pick with people. You know what I mean? Like, right around when Bleeding Through was like ending, like I ended my first marriage, right? And so I lost a lot of friends, like my friends that I had at the time. Just, yeah, I was the bad guy. I wore it, whatever. But I went through some fucking dark times and none of those motherfuckers hit me up to see if I was doing all right. Like none. Like it was like just like I felt alone and depressed and I didn't know what the fuck to do with myself. Like, right. Like, so that was like a kind of look myself in the mirror and be like, all right, dude, like, fuck them. Like, and that is another thing that motivated me with the gym because that was one thing that was happening. And, I think a lot of those people like resented me because I opened a gym. It was weird. Like, and it just drove me to kind of like become a good, better person. You know what I mean? But also help people and like do what I was doing. So when it came time to kind of explore musically something new, that's like what was in my brain. I had like this like vengeful kind of vibe. I was just fucking angry at them. You know what I mean? And that record really was like directed towards like my old friends. Like that was like my fucking war cry. Like that was like the title of the record is called Enemy. Like I'm their fucking enemy. And I'm not a grudge holder. You know what I mean? But I'm still their fucking enemy. And they still fucking know it. And they still, when they fucking see me, I love how uncomfortable it makes them. Like at that fucking Indecision show, bro, you know what I mean? Like a lot of those fools were there and they saw Bleeding Through go up there and just fucking piss on all of them on that fucking stage. And I walked past some of them and it was just, I could feel their anxiety and it just made me fucking feel like I was levitating, dude. It was awesome. So yes, I'm still that vengeful guy, but that record, that record was like in a different, it got something else out of me. It wasn't like Bleeding Through is like an emotion thing with myself and like the people I love. And so it didn't give me the same thing, but going back to that show was awesome.
It was good.
And that was kind of the first show that the Iron Sun had played where I was like, people are like here to like see the Iron Sun. Like it's not just seeing members of Bleeding Through playing their new band. It was like people are here to see the Iron Sun. And I remember we played a show after that at Slide Bar, and yeah, it was a free show, but it was like everybody was singing songs and shit. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I remember saying to Derek because he was playing drums for us, I'm all, we got to start doing Bleeding Through again. Like,
Do you think that turnout was a majority of you and the person you are, and not the leftovers of Bleeding Through? But do you think it had a lot to do with the person who you were and what you went through and your resume? Do you think people showed up for you or specifically for the music itself?
I think people started worrying. I think initially maybe people were just like lending their fan support towards like the people in the band, you know what I mean? Or me because it was a new band. But I think eventually people found something in that record. You know what I mean? People still like hit me up all the time about that record. And I put it on a couple days ago and I'm like, this is really fucking good.
You wrote the whole thing, didn't did
Well, I wrote it with Mick Kinney. So that's like the dude that was like my producer around that time and like going back into Bleeding Through.
Yeah.